Hey you guys, this is Susan reporting here from home. I just want to talk a little bit about this rumor regarding our president and Russian intervention. Okay, first of all, if we believe that, we are doubting our own intelligence community. We are doubting our own national security agency. So, if we have a strong national security agency and a strong CIA, FBI, we should not believe that there was interference from Russians. Another thing that we have to be very careful, because we are almost insulting when we say the enemy, the Russian enemy, so and so collaborated with the enemy. We need to stop that, because nobody here is wanting that animosity. What America is about freedom. Freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of the press. So we need to emulate the good in each other. And if we want people to look up to us and emulate the good that we're doing, we need to lead by example with our faith. And if in God we trust, then we need to be a faithful nation and stop this name calling, the enemy. We have seen President Obama and President Putin come together. We've seen these leaders, political leaders, coming together. Let us be more civilized. Let us be more evolved as a humanity, because we're still stuck in this mentality. It's infantile, really. It's infantile, and it is an embarrassment. It's a bullying tactic, not just from us toward other nations. We're the best. At that rate, we're going to be killing each other as nations, because we, the nations, always want to be the best, better than they. That's not healthy competition, and we know that. Healthy competition is, hey, we've got, this is what we excel at here in America, and we know that y'all excel at this. Let us get together as civilized, evolved humanity, intelligent humanity, who's going to be using our God-given gifts and our resources and our money toward accomplishing something for the betterment of the human race. Because it is this unhealthy competition and this bullying attitude that sets us behind. So if there was any kind of infiltration from Russians regarding President Trump, we're basically saying that our own national security agencies suck. So I don't believe that any of our national security agencies suck. I think that all of them are doing a pretty good job at gathering human intelligence. All of them. All of them are doing the same thing. They have the same common goal. We are the human intelligence. We the people. So we need to understand that there are fires going on, Oregon, California, all kinds of things happening. We need to put our intelligence, in Lebanon, they had this fire. We need to use our God-given intelligence. I mean, look at what happened in Japan just a few years ago. With Fukushima. That affected us all over the world. Look what happened many years ago in Russia with Chernobyl. Are we using our intelligence wisely, or are we ourselves risking the human health with our so-called intelligence? Look what happened with our creation of the bomb in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Einstein made it abundantly clear that he regretted participating in being involved, even if it was accidentally. If he had known that our country was going to test this on innocent people, he would not have done it. This is why he came to me. President Eisenhower came to me. Dr. Martin Luther King came to me. Dr. Martin Luther King was assassinated shortly after he made a statement that if our country has the money to put a man on the moon, then we have the money to get rid of the ghettos and improve the quality of our own citizens right here on this very earth. The reason why he was murdered and the Kennedy brothers were murdered is because they were against the Vietnam War. We didn't know about the Pentagon Papers until years later, but the military knew it. Do you see what greed does? It is embarrassing. All of the nations. We have got fires. We have got poverty. We have got all kinds of mess. And you're spending the money on trying to prove that the President Trump cheated? You have made it miserable for President Trump to be the president. This is not fair. He won. It was his turn. You have made it a living hell for him to do his job. He ain't no angel, but neither are you. None of you are angels. None of you. If you were angels, you would certainly be doing something for the betterment of humanity. Instead of waiting for these laws to be passed and waiting for this and waiting for that, we need to be the change that we want to see in the world. We need to be persistent, and we need to be, trying to do the best we can with what we have. I may not have a degree, but you know what? My goal was to go to culinary nutrition school at Johnson & Wales University. When I was stuck in Mississippi during 5 years being exploited, my desire was to go to culinary nutrition school, get my degree in culinary nutrition so I could travel for a decade and then come back to the Gulf Coast and open up a restaurant with smoke outside. But guess what? Back in the days when I asked for a non-smoking section, you were set literally next to the smoker and everybody under the same smoky roof, basically indoor smoke, which we know it's bad for us. So if we know it's bad for us and they tell you when you buy cigarettes that it's bad for you, We've known secondhand smoke is bad. Why was it still allowed? So I decided to do what little I could within my quote-unquote power or lack of it at my level, which was no degree. So I continue to work at that level, because sometimes you get more done without a degree and without, being some kind of a powerful person, because you're doing it as a consumer. You know that consumers have more power because they're the ones who drive the business. Literally, drive. We are drivers. Rivers. We drive. With God, we can move mountains. With God, not without. I am telling you, President Trump has not been able to do his job because these people, it's like, I want to know if they spend so much money and so much effort and so much time into trying to discredit the president, why the heck can they spend that much time and effort and money toward helping the president? Help him, so as a team, because we are a balanced country. We have Democrats and Republicans in Congress. So why can't we just work together as a team, as a balanced team, and help our president? Because as far as I'm concerned, when we serve in the military, the chief of chiefs is the president. That's the one that we're supposed to be protecting and defending. What the heck are we doing here in America? All of this money and time and resources, investigations and investigations and investigations. Y'all charge for investigating. Y'all are charging. Your attorneys are making money. All of this is just really gossip. And it's just right down embarrassing, and it's driving our country to the ground. You know, when President Clinton was a president, I thought he did a pretty darn good job. I couldn't do that job because they have to wake up early, they have to go to bed late, they have to be available 24/7. Could you do that? I don't think so. It takes a very special breed. So let the person that's decided to take on that responsibility, let them do their job with their team that they've put together. I think Ivanka is a pretty classy lady. The First Lady is a very classy lady. The First Lady does not need President Trump's money. She had her own money. Okay? And you'll know it. You're just jealous because he's married to a beautiful wife. Okay? This is ridiculous. The man was invited to do this job by many people way in advance, a long time ago. Listen to the interviews. Interviewer after interviewer would ask President Trump before he was president, would you be willing to be the president? He said, yes, I would like to because I love this country. I know that I have the skills to do it because he knows about economy and building and business with foreign people. So, with all of those skills and all of that experience under him, he's not an angel. Neither has he ever claimed to be. He's not perfect, and neither are you. You're always going to find fault with somebody. Nobody's perfect enough for you. But God's sake, let them do their job. So, the First Lady did not need President Trump's money. She got together with him because she wanted to. She was a model, wealthy, independently wealthy. She could have gotten any man she wanted, but she chose him. You have made a mockery out of our president, people. You try to get him at the worst angle, making fun of his hair, making fun of his skin, making fun of his body. That is despicable of you, disgracing our country that way. Okay, so you don't like the president, but don't mock your own president, because that only brings your own country down to the ground. This country is full of hoodlums. People come in here and people do whatever they want, and they don't care about America. It has been brought up to my attention by people who do not care about this country. Okay? We have emergencies right now. We have the Navajo country who needs water desperately. We don't seem to have enough money to be able to prioritize the Native Americans, who are the first Americans. So for those of you who feel entitled, you need to recognize that we have a lot of priorities. The Navajo, the Native American people who have been pushed to the side and neglected. The Black Afro-Americans who have lived in poverty, have been incarcerated for petty crimes. That has been a chronic problem here in America. Our public school system, which has dilapidated buildings and going bankrupt because we have not been able to prioritize our public schools. Art classes taken out, foreign languages taken out, all kinds of dysfunctionalities and corruption within our public school system. Because when you take away and you ask people to do more with less, you're going to see a demoralization. Our police officers are improperly paid. Our firefighters are not properly paid. These people risk their lives every day for you, and you complain because a white cop killed a black person. I understand your frustration, but people die every day. Black people die every day. White people die every day. And all kinds of people die every day. What we have to understand is we've got to come together, black and white. Police officers, teachers, come together and do not disgrace this country anymore. We have got to understand we've got priorities. We can do it with God. We can move mountains. But by all means, let the president do what he needs to do. The Democrats have made it a living hell for him because why didn't they do it before? This country didn't go down to the ground because of President Trump. It was already in trouble. It has long been coming. All the mass incarceration of black Afro-Americans, corruption at political, our judicial system, our public schools, all of that has been for a chronic American issue for a long time. So, I believe that the President Trump had a really good team. From education to, everything else, all the other issues that he was trying to take care of, address. So, let us consider these things, folks. I believe that Democrats and Republicans need to come together and help the president instead of trying to run him to the ground. Because when you come on and it's your turn, you're not going to want the Republicans to make it a living hell for you. So let us be balanced. Let us be fair. Let us trust in God and recognize that with God we can move mountains. We have to lead by example and not disgrace our president because he's the one we're supposed to be protecting. According to, the military and our national security agencies. So, stop this about the Russians being the enemy. Let's work together. Let's have some diplomacy here with these nations, Chinese, the Koreans, North and South Korea, and not try to team up against the enemy, because at that rate, we're going to end up blowing everybody. Okay? Pay attention! Thank you.